All right, why DC20's action point combat is the future of TTRPG's combats. And first off, I'm the Nerd Doctor, here to help you diagnose what's wrong with your RPG game and here to help you fix it. Now, first off, I'm actually in my new office. I hope you like it, in new view and the new doctor's office, so to speak. Yes, I am a real doctor, and yes, I am a real nerd. Okay, having said that, let's get back to action point combat. So, in D&D, I move, I attack, maybe bonus action. In DC20, so many more. It's really hard to list them all. There's some that overlap, absolutely, but for the most part, there's some unique stuff in there, and maybe I'll touch upon that later in the video. But in D&D, your turn is a chore. In DC20, it's a choice. Let's talk about action point combat and why it changes everything. So the problem with D&D's turn economy is, like I said, you've got your action, maybe your bonus action if you have one, and a movement. Bonus actions are inconsistent and often restrictive. Players spend more time waiting for their turn than making real decisions. It's like being told what's on the menu instead of choosing your meal, or following a script instead of actually strategizing. And action point combat fixes that. So in DC20, every player gets 4 action points. Every action has a cost, whether it's movement, attacks, reactions, spells, abilities. Everything has a cost, which also means that it makes it easier for us as dungeon masters or game masters to sit down and say, take something that may not necessarily be a feature in anything that's in the game, and then decide, okay, you know what, I like that, let's go ahead and implement that. That's going to cost you an extra action point. And just be able to rules lawyer. It's very easy to implement that. So on your turn, you use all 4 of those action points. You can attack 4 times, you can move 4 times. If you're a martial character, you can increase the output of your attack, you can extend that attack, you can give yourself advantage, whether you're martial or a spellcaster. Either way, you have the opportunity to use all of your action points, and then you get them all back at the end of your turn. But you can even use action points on other people's turns. You can even end up in a situation where you've used all of your action points before it even gets to your turn. And that is with reactions. Some of them are class abilities, but the 2 main ones that everyone gets are opportunity attacks and spell duels. Opportunity attacks, everyone already knows from D&D. Spell duels, totally different story. There is no counterspell in DC20, which I love this idea, because nothing's more annoying than being in a counter spell off with every other monster and player at the table waiting to see if a single spell will go off. Instead, with a spell duel, if you see someone casting a spell, again, any spellcaster can do this, or anyone who can cast a spell to do this, you can use your reaction to cast a spell to try to interfere with that, try to interject with that, and keep it from hitting its target. And you roll to see if whoever's going to win. The higher level is going to have an advantage, of course. Your allies who can also spell cast can help you engage in that spell duel by casting their own spell, giving you guys advantage over your target. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite things of the game is the spell duel and the opportunity and chance of it going to even out. No one wins, in which case the wild magic table goes off, and it's just a fun little extra flavor of the game. You're not saving any of these actions for later. Like I said, even when it's not your turn, you can either bet on yourself, or you can bet if you might need it later. You can choose not to use an opportunity attack if you think you're going to need all of your action points for your turn. There's a tactical trade-off here, and smarter choices tend to pay off in the end. So it's smarter, team-based combat. You can use action points to help you use maneuvers to apply conditions. Conditions are going to be huge in this game, and that'll be a future video. But you're going to be setting up both yourself and your teammates with these action points. You choose how to spend your points, but your team chooses how to win. Every action point is a tactical choice, not just a to-do list. And it's not just for martial characters. In D&D, casters, again, if you don't have that bonus action, you can cast that single spell and you can move. And that is just about it. In DC20, you can cast multiple spells. There will be a disadvantage penalty to cast additional spells. And there's a little nuance there, whether it's a spell attack or a spell for a condition. 2 spell attacks will apply disadvantage, but if a spell attack and a spell condition, not so much. Also, sustain spells. Concentration is gone. There's no more concentration in DC20. Instead, you use an action point to sustain the spell and keep it going. Now, there are ways for other people to try to interrupt that, but it's not strictly damage anymore. That doesn't do it. You have to be able to apply the daze condition. Again, swinging back into why conditions are so important and why this is tactical combat. And then again, like I said, spell duels lets counters counter energy magic in real time. It's more engaging, it's more reactive, but still balanced. And then we've got maneuvers. So in D&D, only some martial classes get combat features and maneuvers, but in DC20, every single martial character gets maneuvers. Again, this is where the tactics come into play. Choosing as a party which ones are going to complement each other, especially with different weapon passive styles, because weapons in DC20 have passive abilities that can affect certain conditions or enhance attacks when attacking a certain condition. So bonus actions really tried to add this same flexibility, but even Jeremy Crawford has admitted that they missed the mark and they do not do what they were hoping they would do. DC20 fixed that. Maneuvers aren't optional. They are essential to good combat. So again, D&D, move, act, wait. DC20, plan, react, dominate. Action point economy equals tactical combat every single round. Let's just use a perfect classical example that we all know. The rogue. The rogue likes to attack, hide, move. Or you can do it the other way around. Move, hide, attack. Whatever's going to give them advantage on that attack so they can deal their sneak attack damage, okay? With DC20, that's not going to be that's their only turn. They can actually dash and hide and then attack, because a dash is 2 action points and hide is 1 action point and attack is 1 action point. But there's so many other ways that they could do that. Maybe they want more advantage because advantage and disadvantage stack in DC20. So maybe he wants to attack twice and tries to get his cunning attack twice, in which case they're going to use 2 action points to attack. So attack, give yourself advantage on the second attack, because again, if you try to repeat the same attack in DC20, it's going to give you disadvantage, so you can give yourself advantage. It's going to remove that disadvantage, but now you've used 3 options. Oh, and let's go ahead and just throw in a power attack. Let's add 1 point of damage to that. Or move. There's so many different ways that these can be combined and utilized by your characters. It becomes creative and engaging. There is no boring combats. There is no one sitting on the sidelines waiting for their turn. Maybe you have someone looking through their sheet, looking through spells, which are much shorter DC20, but you are mostly in the moment. Like combat is moving quickly. We want to make sure that we are being smart, because honestly, the monsters are pretty freaking smart in DC20, and you're going to need to be smart, and if you're going to face them at the same level. So I hope you loved this video about action points and why they are the future of TTRPGs. And if you haven't checked out DC20, check the link below and you will be able to get resources for that. Also, keep an eye out. I will be coming out with player mats and cards for all the maneuvers, all the spells, all the action points. They will be available also in the link in the description. Once I'm ready, the game is not finished yet, but once it is, you will find them there. Thanks for listening, guys. Again, I'm the Nerd Doctor, here to diagnose what's wrong with your RPG games and here to help you fix it. This has been your daily dose of the Nerd Doctor. Stay clever, play smarter.